Hello, guys and gals and everyone. Oh, we got one. We got a taker. Oh, we got a thumbs up. This is going good. We got a 2. We got 2 and 1 thumbs up. 2, 1 thumbs up. Hello, Richard. 3 and a thumbs up. Oh, I guess I got a note of. No, I should probably turn this down. How you doing, Richard? How you doing? I just got home from work like 2 minutes ago. All right, I got 3 and 2. 3 people, 2 thumbs up. This is looking good. It's gonna be a good one. I'm still waiting for Home Depot to deliver my washing machine. What kind did you get? Did you just get one that works, or did you get a real fancy schmancy one? Is that too bright? Maybe I should like turn the monitor and like look that way, and maybe I don't know. Don't know. Just really bright over there. GE energy efficient top load washer. That'll do it. What's the load capacity? Is it like, I've never understood this with washer and dryers. A washer will be like, I don't know, like 5 cubic feet, but then the dryer will be like 9. It's like, come on. 4.3. Yeah, that's actually a fairly large one. I think ours is only like 5. Chad, how you doing, sir? Welcome. Yeah, I mean, that's still a pretty big washer. I mean, and for only being one person, you can go like a whole week without washing clothes. Either that or you can get some rocks and beat them together, down by the creek or the crick, depending on where you come from. So how was everybody's week so far? We finally started getting good weather. I think we hit like a whopping 74 today and sunny. As you guys can see, it's sunny. If you looking out the window right now, it looks like the beginning of The Simpsons to me. So does anybody have any plans for Memorial Day coming up? Let's start thinking about that. That's what, only 2 weeks away? Richard says, my old washing machine was a GE and it lived longer than it should have. You know what? That's good, because your new one will probably live shorter than what it should have. I don't know. Appliances seem like they're disposable nowadays, which is pretty sad for the cost that you pay for them. I keep wanting to watch myself, and it looks like I'm looking over there. Sorry, guys. So I would love to have a cookout, but I don't have a grill anymore. So that sucks. Rebel. Sorry, I can never stay, bud. Sadly, just saying hi. Hi. Thanks for showing up. Hello. You're having good weather down where you are right now. And Gear left that to go to that hot, oh, geez. No, not a fan.
I'm going to go exercise.
Courtney's going to go exercise, AKA, look at that. Do that again. What's this right here?
That is not forced at all.
Man, look at that. Look at that.
All right, then. I'll see you.
Well, you have fun. Do 2 miles for me.
All right, no problem.
Yep. Thank you. Let me know how much weight I lose. Yeah, it was just a perfect angle right there, Rebel. It's funny because Courtney always talks about how much upper body strength she does not have, but it is what it is. I mean, she doesn't physically do much. So, because her job is in customer service, you can only do so much in a cubicle, just saying. Richard says, I might be going to the Renaissance Festival this weekend. You know what? Ours is in June. Ours is like the second or third week of June. So we don't go there because it's kind of creepy, quite frankly. Rebel says, bigger guns than me. Yeah, I mean, some days they're bigger than me too. It is what it is. Stringbean says, I hope it's not windy this weekend. I hope not either because, wearing a skirt and all. I mean, I'm sorry, a kilt. Didn't mean to mismention your attire. Richard says, hello, Rebel. How are you? Rebel says, it was awesome weather and now it's hot and humid. Yeah, that sucks. I hate it. Oh, my God. We went from being 2 days ago a low of 41, and Sunday we're going to be 90. So we seriously jumped 50 degrees in 4 days. It sucks. And then we're going to be in summer. It's going to stay in mid to upper 80s for like a week or something. I'm going to hate it. My job sucks in the summertime. My job sucks all the time, but in the summer it's really bad. Rebel says, hello, Beans. Gotta head out. I hope you have a great night. You too, Rebel. Have fun. Enjoy that weather, though. I mean, it's going to be getting nice because it's getting darker out. Hopefully you don't get the bugs. Mr. Bean is laughing. Richard says, I bought the Ryobi 3.0 amp hour battery kit and got the rotary tool for free. And he says, bye, Rebel. You see, now that's one of the things that I wanted to go over in this live was I'm really digging the Makita platform. These subcompacts, I know a lot of people, they don't really want to get them because they are so small. I mean, let's do it like this. Here's my phone, and there's the Makita subcompact. Look at that. Let me lock my screen. I mean, seriously, you can hide this thing behind your phone. And they're really light, and it has the power for what I need. I mean, there might be a time where I need something a little bit more, but for right now in the shop for, using like the Craig jig and, doing stuff like that, this works great. I mean, I don't really need much more than this. And I also have the subcompact drill, which works great. And I love that I have the little 2 amp hour batteries for this. I mean, it still makes it a very tiny footprint. I mean, it's like the size of my hand. And, it's brushless and they're pretty quiet. So, I mean, it works great for me. I did just get the Makita string trimmer because I needed one. And that came with 2 5 amp hour 18 volt, which will also work on here. So that's great. And it also came with the single battery angle grinder, which I thought was really odd. Why would I need a angle grinder and a weed whacker? That's just weird. But it was 2 things I needed. So why not? Right? I got to say that weed whacker, aka string trimmer, as they're calling them nowadays, it's fairly long, but it's comfortable. I mean, it's seriously as tall as me when you stand it on its nose, but it's comfortable to use. It's long enough to have the right angle you need, I like it. There's actually going to be a video of, it's not an install video, but it's going to be me assembling it, and I kind of like it. It's not bad. Richard says, bye, Rebel. And he also says, I just buy the tools that work and I don't care what brand it is. You know what? And I agree with you, but if you've watched my channel, you know that little Ryobi router that I have, the one that you would almost use for like cutting edge banding and like little roundovers and stuff like that, or like edge breaks and stuff. Now that I'm using it more often and a lot more, it's starting to wobble and I'm starting to get burn spots and everything like that. And it's not because of the router bit. It's just when you turn it on, you can see it wobble a little bit. So now that it wobbles, you don't get that nice smooth cut. So I'm going to have to replace that shortly. Boise City, how you doing, sir? And like I said, the reason that I replaced my Ryobi with these is my Ryobi, the chuck was starting to wobble after having it for like 8 months. And it's not like I beat the hell out of it. But this little platform outdoes my Ryobi leaps and bounds. And I got this and also the drill driver kit, the subcompact kit. I got it for 150 bucks. So, I mean, it was cheaper than buying another Ryobi drill. And I got 2 pieces that, quite frankly, I beat the hell out of. So I'm really happy with the Makita line. And, you know, that's one of the reasons why I kind of stayed with it is, A, I was in a new platform, and B, it worked really well for me. So, you know, there will be more Makita coming to the channel just because it works. And it, you know, it's like Richard said, I buy tools that work. And in the beginning, Ryobi worked great for me for, you know, the little DIYer doing this and doing that, you know, and not really using it that much for like the homeowner type thing. But now that I'm using it more like daily and business oriented wise, it just don't work for me. And Milwaukee has a wonderful line. They literally have anything you would need. They're just too damn expensive. You know, and I don't know. I can't see myself, you know, needing, you know, a $300 impact. Because if I need a $300 impact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy myself an Ingersoll Rand and buy myself a big air compressor. And between the both of them, you're looking at maybe 500 bucks for the cost that you would get 2 little Milwaukee drills. So if I need that much power, I'm either going to be A, wired, or I'm going pneumatic. So, all right. Sorry. Let me get off my box here. Where did I leave off? I want the new Ego 10 amp hour battery. You know what? I heard that Ego line for outside, like yard work and stuff, people are loving it. They're really loving it, and I'm excited about it. But I was already in the Makita line, so I didn't want to get another set of chargers and batteries. You know, it's bad enough. Now, the charger that the Weed Whacker came with, that charger is huge. Oh my God, the charger is like this big. I'm like, why does it need to be that big? But I mean, even their single charger was huge. But I agree. The Ego does look like a good product, definitely. Dan says, yo, Boise City Mopar in the house. How you doing, Dan? He says, not too bad, Brian. Richard says, that's how my rigid brushless trim router has been acting. Yeah, and that's the thing. And I'm going to be looking into getting a heavy-duty router to be able to put in a router table. So, you know, I'm gonna want. I'm not sure if I want to go with a router and a router table, or if I want to go with a small shaper. I'm not sure yet. So I'm thinking if I go with a router table, I could build that into my outfeed table and it would work. So I'm not sure. Where did I leave off here? Oh, Richard says, hi, Mopar. Oh, hi, Bailey. Hi. Squirrel. Dan says, String Bean. String Bean says, you got a real good deal on that Makita subcompact. Yeah, and that's the thing. And actually, the store wanted to charge me like $349 or something. But I went in and I showed him a picture that Tool Boss posted. And I'm like, you got one of these? He's like, oh, no, we're all out of stock. I'm like, really? You want to get that one from up there for me? He's like, oh, I don't think that's the right one. I said, get it. Bring it down. Let's see. And lo and behold, I got it for that price. So I was really happy with that. Richard says, my Milwaukee M12 6.0 battery stopped working on me. See, now that sucks. Especially for the cost of batteries. They charge you out the butt for them, but they like throw them into kits like they're freaking Tic Tacs. I've never understood that. They'll charge you like to get 2 of these 2 amp hour batteries in a kit. You're looking at probably like 100 or 129, somewhere in that area. But you buy a drill kit that comes with a bag, a charger, and 2 batteries for $150. And they're making the money. They really are. Boise City said, so Brian, just curious, how much is one of those salad bowls like the one you made for TW? Well, I have a formula on how I price them out. And there's a few other people online that use the same formula. It's basically the diameter by the depth times 2 to 2.5. So in that case, that bowl was 5 inches deep and it was 13 inches around. So that would be what, 50, 65 times 2. You're looking at 130 to 150 bucks for that bowl. So they're not exactly cheap. But I mean, you guys can see the amount of work that went into them. I mean, it does take a while. Now, mind you, I ran that whole video at between 425 to 500% on the timing. So that was 4 to 5 times how long it took, and you guys didn't even see all of it. So if you just think of 5 times that half hour, I'm in 2.5 hours on that bowl. So, and then with material and cost and everything, 125 to 150 isn't really leaving much meat on the bone for me, but that's about what it would be. Now, depending on the wood also. I mean, cherry was a little bit more expensive wood. If it was walnut, that bowl would be pushing probably about 175 to 200. If I made it out of like a glue up out of like, I don't know, say poplar or like select pine, something like that, you would probably be looking at somewhere closer to around 90-ish. So it all depends on the material it's made out of. If I made it out of something like a quilted maple or a flame box elder, now you're pushing 275 to 300. So it really does depend. But like I said, just the material for that was 12 quarter cherry. So 12 quarter cherry, every linear, well, let's see. I'll give you the calculation on how to calculate board feet. board feet is basically just volume. Yeah, it basically comes out to like a square. Is it a square foot? It's not considered linear feet. There is an equation. It's something like length times width times foot divided by. I want to say it's divided by 12. I always get it backwards. Always. How to calculate board feet. It's actually, it's really easy. And I always get it confused because I seem like I'm oversimplifying it, but I'm not. So you basically multiply your length times, your length of your board times your width times the thickness, then divide by 144. And that gives you a number. So if you had, let's say, a board that was, like in this case, 12/4, and it was 13 inches for each one of them boards that I had, and they were 6 inches wide. Actually, they were 7 inches wide. So that would be 7 times 3 inches, because that's what 12/4 is. That would be 7 times 3 is 21. And then they were 14 inches for 4 boards. 28, that's 56. So 21 times 56 divided by 144. There was, see, now you're making me do math again. So you had your 7 times 3 equals your 21 times 14. 14 is 28, 56. That can't be wrong. 21 times 56 equals 1,100 divided by 144. Yeah, so that was about 8 board feet at $7.50 a board foot. So times 750. So 8 times, you're looking at 56. You're looking at like $62 in material. So when you think about that, plus my time and all that, $125 is a little bit of a steal. There's not much there for me. Where are we here? String being retracted. And then he said the Ego Rapid Charger can charge my 7.5 amp hour battery in 45 minutes. Well, that's the thing. I mean, the charger for the Makita can do 2 5 amp hour batteries in 45 minutes, 45 to 50 minutes. And that's not bad. But when you're in that platform, a lot of their bigger stuff needs 2 batteries. So it's not like you charge 2 and then you have all day. You charge 2, and like the Weed Whacker, I think it has. Let me close that door, guys. The Weed Whacker, I think it's like 60 minutes of use on it. So, I mean, but it's not bad. If you're weed whacking for a full hour straight, that's a pretty big yard. Dan says, okay, Brian, I'll keep that in mind. I was thinking of giving one to my mother for her birthday. Let me know, sir. I'll help you out with the price. I will. And like I said, we can always maybe come up with a different wood that you want to use to be able to help you with your price. And we could either stain it, or there's a couple different ways that I could make the bowl that might make it cheaper on you. So, just let me know. And he also says, because I'd like to have one that is 13 inches across and 5 inches deep. Yeah, that's, 8 board feet. It'll be roughly 8 board feet for everything. But if I used If I used a cheaper wood, it would be much different. And depending on the way that I make it, I could always put smaller boards and stack up thinner boards and stack them up smaller to bigger. So that way there would be less waste and in essence, less material that I would have to use. So that could be a possibility. String Bean said something I've already read, and I'm racking Brian's brain. LOL. Yeah, I normally don't use a calculator when I do math, but sometimes when I get put on the spot, I need a little bit of help. AAV, Keenan, how are you? He says, hey, Brian, at the scene of a crash, hopefully not yours, because that would suck. And then AAV also says, oh, Bailey. Yeah, somebody walked by. String Bean says AAV. Dan says AAV, LOL. Dan says, okay, Brian, thank you. I appreciate it. If I decide to go that route, I'll let you know. I'll give you my address and where to ship it, and we can go from there. Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, I'll work with you. I mean, there's a couple different ways that I could make it that might really cut back on the cost for you. So Brian, what kind of wood would be cheaper than the one that you use for TW's bowl? Well, Richard said that he got poplar wood for free. That free is always cheaper. Yeah, I'm on Instagram, same name. There's a couple different ways that I could make the bowl to where I could still use a premium-ish lumber, but also, keep the price down for you too. But if you wanted to go with something like that, I mean, I could probably get 12-quarter poplar for like $3 a board foot. And I mean, poplar has a really nice color to it. And then I could always do a slight stain or something like that for you to kind of bring out the color. Or I would be able to go with, like maybe something like, I think I can get ash for cheaper, and that's still a nice white color board. That would be a little bit more like the color of the ones that I did for Rob. It would be a little bit lighter, but once again, I can always, stain or whatever to get it. Now, did you want this to be a functional salad bowl or just a decorative piece? Because that also depends too. He asked if I'm on Instagram, and Richard said, Mopar, what have you been up to, buddy? I think he's been working a lot. So I have a couple more tools that I need to get for my shop. So Sebastian, how you doing, sir? Welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. How you been doing? Dan says, String Bean, just working, dude. I also got a second job. I'll be starting my training in July. Well, congrats, Dan. Good job. So, Sebastian, are you still boxing? Yeah, I'm looking at possibly getting a track saw because yeah, Elmwood is good also. Yeah, I fully agree, Dan. I just don't know the price of that right off the top of my head. I mean, oak would also be pretty comparable depending on the thickness of it. I could probably get that for a halfway decent price. Elm, ash, poplar, pine, a lot of them I can normally get halfway decent. Or if I can find like a decent sized bowl blank for you, out of one of them. Sometimes you can find them pretty cheap, like on Etsy or eBay. I might be able to do it that way rather than just buying the stock. I might be able to make it as a solid bowl. But to try and come up with something that's 13 inches by 5, that's a big bowl blank. I don't know if you tried to find them. It's hard, and that's why I've been doing a lot of glue ups. So, Mopar, hope your training goes good. Boise City says, "What's up, Sebastian?" Yes, I want a bowl to be functional. I can definitely do that. Sebastian said, "No, I stopped because once it got competitive, it wasn't fun." Well, I mean, do you still at least just go in and use it like a workout at least, to stay in shape and stuff like that? Boise says, "When I get ready, Brian, I will send you my address on Instagram." Sounds good, sir. Just let me know. And we'll work out something. I'll definitely work with you. Sebastian says, "What's up, Boise?" String says, "Cedar is nice. Wood, it just split and crack over time." Yeah, but a lot of it all comes in the preparation. If you put a good seal on it, and if it's going to be a functional bowl and you keep it oiled and you keep the finish on it because you're using it, you really shouldn't have that problem. It should last for a long time. And I don't exactly like making functional bowls out of cedar just because, if something stays in it for too long, you kind of get that cedar taste in it. And that's why you use cedar when you make salmon or something like that on the grill, is because you get that wood flavor in it. And not many people really like to have cedar flavored salad, just saying. Sebastian says, "What's up, Boise City? Doing cracks?" And Boise says, "Sebastian, not much, just working this week. I'm only working 4 days. It's probably working 6 days next week, and I'll be starting a new job in a couple months to go on top of this job I'm doing." Well, hey, you're going to be at a new car very soon if you keep working that many hours. Sebastian says, I do a workout at the same gym. I don't do that much boxing, though. My uncle made a sauna out of cedar 2 years ago, and it hasn't cracked. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. When, like in the case of a sauna, it has the humidity in there, so it keeps the wood moist and it keeps it more flexible and pliable. Just like if you were to make a bowl or a cutting board, as long as you keep them oiled properly, and you glue them up properly, there's normally not an issue, or there normally shouldn't be an issue. It's only if you, like, I don't know, say send the bowl from, like, I don't know, Canada or Sweden, and send it down to like the Dominican. Then you're going through like an 80 or 90 degree temperature change very fast. Plus, you also have the humidity aspect. So that could wreak havoc on wood, because all wood moves. There's a person that I watch, Mark Spagnolia, I think is how you pronounce it. His name is the Wood Whisperer. And he just did something on his Instagram about that today. And it was basically about, there's two different people in woodworking. There's people that think wood move, and then there's people that think that wood doesn't move once it's dried, which I'm not per se on one side or the other, but as long as you start with a fairly stable wood, in my opinion, it will move. I mean, it's green. I mean, it's porous. It's going to soak up humidity and everything. But on the other hand, depending on if it stays in the same temperature, like what he was pointing out, if you stay within like the same temperature and stuff like that and same humidity, it should stay pretty stable. It's like I said, if you're going from, like 10 below to 110 above, that's a big change for wood. So that could definitely wreak havoc on any kind of wood, regardless of how well it was prepped, how well it was dried, or whatever. I mean, you'll still have a problem with it. But like I said, if you keep it in roughly the same temperature or you gradually acclimate it, that's why with wood floors, if you get wood floors in your house, like say you order it from a company in Minnesota, they tell you not to put that floor in for 72 hours because that floor needs to get adjusted and basically, tempered to your temperature and your humidity level and everything. Because if not, if you put it in, say from Minnesota and you get it in Florida, you get it in, you put it right in, that wood's going to swell up so much, you're going to have cracks, you're going to have buckles, you're going to have bows and everything else. To where if you went the other way and it went from Florida to Michigan or Minnesota, you're going to have the completely opposite effect, and it's going to shrink up, and then you're going to get cracks from where it's either nailed or glued up. Because it's got to move, when you have any significant temperature change. String Bean says, my cedar nightstand and TV stand that an Amish friend made has cracks in it. Now, my question is, what kind of a finish was on it? And do you use your air conditioner or your heater? Because for me, I keep my house about a steady temperature all year long. It's not often that blow open the windows and bring the heat or the cold in. So that's another thing that's big. And especially down in your area, your temperature could swing 30 degrees every day. So you got to think it's expanding and contracting, and it will crack. It depends on the coat that you have on it. Sebastian says he loves the look of poplar with a light layer of matte polyurethane. You know what? And I fully agree with you. Poplar is really good. I don't have it up here, but I have a piece of poplar downstairs that I'm probably going to end up making into a shelf for the office, which this isn't going to be the office forever. It'll be the bedroom I'm staying in. It's beautiful. It has the really, really light wood on the outside, and in the middle, it's the dark brown and that dark green. I love the green color that is in poplar. And when you get like a good coat of anything on it, if you build up a finish on that, it like magnifies the color of the grain. And poplar's a beautiful wood. I think it's an underused wood, and it's also a cheap wood. But I have noticed that Home Depot is really starting to raise the prices on their poplar. Their poplar is almost getting to be the price of some of their oak, which sucks. My parents have a small cedar closet in our basement. See, and that is the perfect application for cedar, is in a controlled environment. Or actually any wood, quite frankly. You got to keep it out of the sun. The more sun exposure, the UV will break down, like in pine, it'll break down the pitch and all that stuff. It'll keep sucking water out of it. So you'll get to a point to where you just have the fibers and they become weak. So if you naturally use it, then you will end up getting cracks in it, unless you conceal it and keep it out of direct sunlight. You will have them problems. Boise says, is elm hard to make a bowl out of? Actually, I can make a bowl out of just about any damn thing you want. I really need to get my shop up and running. Mainly because I need to get my miter station built, because I have a lot of projects that I got to get done. And once I get the miter station done, I might actually call somebody back and, make get a substantial order that I'm actually going to have to take a week of vacation to do. So let me see the cost of elm right now. Let me let me yeah, because like one of the places where I get my wood from, let's see, white ash for 8 quarter is where's the price? It's $6.75 a board foot for ash, but ash is really nice and it takes color well. So let me get to the elm. They have so much wood at this place, it's ridiculous. There is certain cherry that I can actually get for a better price than that, honestly. I'm trying to get to... I turned a sample of a black walnut flooring into a Christmas ornament. I love black walnut. It is amazing. Sebastian says ash is nice. It really is. Brian, that is good to know. In the section I live is higher desert, so we have dry weather over here. Yeah, but it's one of those things. If you're going to be using a salad bowl, you wash it, it dries, you oil it. So you're going to keep it hydrated. So for something like that compared to furniture, which is what the Wood Whisperer was talking about, was movement in like different joints and different joinery in furniture. That's kind of what he was talking about. But it kind of relates to really just about anything. And I blew past the elm, unless they don't have... Oh, koa is another beautiful wood.
I'm here.
Did you run?
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
she didn't run, but she's out of breath, guys.
Whew. Takes a lot to work this junk in the trunk, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm gonna be outside for a minute and then I'll be inside.
All right.
Okay, love you, bye.
Love you, bye. I gotta find that. I seriously blew by the elm. Another wood that I really love is cocobolo. That is beautiful. Cocobolo and koa wood, Hawaiian koa, beautiful. There's ebony. Elm should be around here somewhere. Now, African black and white ebony, that's another good one. I really love that. They actually didn't have elm. I'm sure they do. I just didn't find it on their site. Yeah, basswood's good, and that's great to work with. Just Wrench It, how you doing, sir? Sebastian says hello to Just Wrench It. That's why they put it under the like the English term. I guess you could say. Yeah, a lot of the elm that they have is more like slabs and stuff like that. So that would probably be a little bit hard, but I do have another supplier I could possibly get it from. Boise says, no worry, Brian. You have plenty of time with my mom's birthday. Isn't until March. Okay, so that's a year. Okay. I can probably always gradually work on it, and you could save up. There you go. String Bean says, hi, Wrench. Boise says, I just wanted to get an idea of the cost and stuff like that ahead of time. No problem. Anytime. I'm on Instagram, so you guys can always, send me a DM over there. Hopefully, I should be getting an Etsy account up very shortly. And I'm looking at possibly a Facebook market Facebook market page, and maybe a eBay page. I'm not sure, but eBay's freaking expensive. Just French it says picking up my daughter. Well, don't throw your back out. Be careful if you're driving, sir. Wow. So yeah, I mean, I can't wait until I get back down on my lathe. I really do love that. Oh, your mom does embroidery. See, now that's something that I don't have the patience for. But yeah, from right now, Etsy, they have like the best place to be able to sell it because their fees are reasonable. And I figured it out somewhere. Yeah, roughly for Etsy, like per $100, they would take like $8.50. So, so that's not that horrible to take $8.50 for $100 order. But I mean, it kind of sucks because it's like they take almost 10%. So, but it is what it is. I mean, if you had a store, you'd be paying a lot more than that, right? I mean, the overhead in a store is ridiculous. Boise says, I'm thinking about asking my mom what kind of wood she would like to be made out of. I can do anything. And like I said, I can send you some ideas of something that you might like, and we'll work on something for you. We'll get you something nice for your mom. How's that sound? So, does anybody have an idea of what kind of track saw other than Festool? Because I'm not putting out Festool money for a track saw. That's why I didn't even get a Capex. That's why I went with my Bosch. Because I'm seriously thinking about going with the Makita. I really am. It looks good. It looks comfortable. The tracks are really nice. I like that the Makita on the bottom of the track saw, they have a little switch that you can push over. So when you're cutting angles, it won't tip over. I think they're the only company that has it, other than I think Mafell. But I'm kind of thinking about it, especially considering I'm already in the platform. So we'll have to see. Getting a little bit windy out. I am buying my mom a wooden puzzle box from the Renaissance Festival for a late Mother's Day gift. Doesn't matter if it's late. It's all about the meaning behind it. Ask William Patrick Customs on Instagram. He has good information on them. You know what? I will. I've been watching a lot of videos because I mean track saws are not cheap. Um, I was looking at the DeWalt, but I'm not in that line. So then I'd have a Ryobi charger. I'd have my charger for my Makita. Then I'd have the charger for the DeWalt. And I'm like, I don't want a wall of chargers. I have a small shop. So, and that's one of the big things pushing me towards the Makita. Not to mention that anti-tip thing on the Makita is pretty nice. So, I'd be able to use that for the cutting long angles for like making tall boxes, like planners and like that kind of stuff. So that would be nice. Or even making like just any kind of taper you would need. But thank you. I'll definitely check that out. Boise says, the sad part is my parents had a giant elm tree that was sitting in the other backyard for about 26 or 28 years. If I knew, I could have had a piece of elm left and you could have made a bowl out of it. Yeah, I mean, as long as it wasn't rotten. And even if there are some small rotten areas, just fill it with epoxy. Color the epoxy and fill it with the epoxy and you'll be good to go. Sebastian says his dream tool is the Festool Domino. Now, do you want the XL or is the small one good enough for you? I mean, the Domino is amazing, but I'm just sitting there thinking, for all that money just to line something up, why not just drill holes and put dowels in it? I mean, a drill bit's like what, $2? And then you buy a dowel that's maybe $7 for like 4 feet or 5 feet. I mean, yeah, Sebastian, the small one is fine. I agree, and that's the thing. I don't really see where I would need that right yet. But if I do need something to do something like that, I would definitely consider the Domino, and I would probably go with the mid-size because they have 3 different ones, I believe. The XL one is ridiculous. The cordless DeWalt, are you talking about the joiner that they have or the track saw? Because actually Renaissance told me that if he had to buy another track saw, he would get another DeWalt. But once again, I'm not in that platform. And, I don't know. And honestly, it's just to break down sheet goods. So it's not like I'm going to be using it for precision work because I have my Powermatic table saw for that. So if I was going to get one, it's seriously just to break down and make it more manageable for me to make my precision cuts on my table saw. Yeah, the track saw. You know what? Everybody raves about that DeWalt, but I don't know. Like I said, it's rough. And I mean, I could go with the Mafell. I mean, Mafell has a chain driven one. You seriously put it on, you plunge it, you push start, and it's chain driven. It's ridiculous. It's like almost like a vertical or horizontal vertical sawmill. It's ridiculous. You push a button and it just pulls the track saw down the track. It's pretty funny, but ridiculously priced. An Etsy account would be much more beneficial. It would, because I'm also looking at being able to track everything, because right now I have a financial journal that every time I buy something, I put the receipt in the envelope and then I put an entry in the journal. If I sell something, I put that entry in the journal. So that way, tax time, I just say, here you go. And my CPA, I'm probably going to be doing it like quarterly. So I have 4 of them. So I can just give it to him. And, honestly, for $3 for a journal for quarterly, it's worth it. So, you know what? The Craig track saw is nice, but it felt a little plasticky to me. You know how I don't know. I didn't exactly like the feel of the actual saw itself. It just didn't feel right to me. But you know, the DeWalt and the Makita, they both felt comfortable to me. So, you know, it is what it is. So another thing I'm going to need to do is, like I was talking about earlier, is I need to get a router table or maybe a small shaper. So I need to start looking at that too. You know what? The Triton didn't look bad, but the Wen, I picked up the Wen, and the Wen felt extremely light. And I'm like, that's probably good that it's light because I won't get tired. But it didn't really feel like it was like substantial. It didn't really feel like it was there. And I really am narrowed down to either the DeWalt or the Makita. I think that's going to be my choice. They're about the same price range, and they both felt good. They're both comfortable. So now I just have to decide which one I want. So I think that's the hardest part, is deciding which one I want to spend $500 on, because they're both about the same price, about $500. But I do like that the Makitas, you can extend them. They do have two different sizes, like the DeWalt. And they're both about the same. So as far as price and everything else. Let's see. Dan says, String Bean, there's no such thing as a late Mother's Day gift. I just took my mom out today for Mother's Day gift. A dinner. So, Sebastian says, flip a coin and decide. That seriously, Mike. And honestly, what it might come down to is I have batteries for Makitas already. And that's seriously how hard my decision is right now. If I wasn't in Makita, I think I might go with the DeWalt. But because I already have Makita batteries, you know, that might be the deciding factor for me. And that's really where I think it's going, is towards the Makita. Because like I said, they both make a great saw. And I think Makita and DeWalt are ranked 1 and 2. Depending on who you see do the reviews, one will put DeWalt, one will put Makita. So it's even a toss-up for the people that review them. So, but guys, I'm going to go make dinner now. So if anybody has any questions or anything they need me for, you can always DM me on Instagram, and I'll definitely get back to you. A dinner, she got a gift and a card. I would have done something last Sunday, but didn't have money or time. See, that's fine. And you know what, guys? This was my first Mother's Day without my mom. And unfortunately, my mom's birthday falls on Memorial Day this year. My mom's birthday is the 27th and my dad's is the 28th. So this is the first year that I've been without both of my parents. So it is what it is. So I didn't have a chance to take my mom out for Mother's Day. So, but yeah, if you guys need anything, you know, like I said, get in touch with me on Instagram. Very shortly, I'm going to try and get a website up with, you know, like email addresses and all that kind of stuff to, you know, kind of help, you know, communication with me and all my subscribers and followers and everything, to try and make it a little bit better. But, you know, we'll see what happens. It takes a lot of time to do that. Oh, trust me, Brian, this tree was quite healthy. This tree was about 6 feet and wet and around 80 to 100 feet tall. See, that would have been great. If I was closer, I would have been I would have bought a chainsaw to chop that one up. I would have took care of it for you. Boise said, actually, now that I think about it, the tree was about 7 feet wide. See, now that would have been prime. I would have been making some huge bowls out of that. Oh man, that would have been great. So guys, I had fun hanging out with you guys. And Sebastian, you know, I hope I can make a decision on which one I want to get. So, you know, we'll see. I need to order one soon because I have 15 sheets of plywood sitting in my basement for cabinets. The only reason why they got rid of the tree was because it was dropping limbs all over the place and in every windstorm, and my parents got tired of it. Yeah, good reason. You know, don't want to have a big one fall and hurt anybody or anything. So, all right, guys, I will see you next Thursday, roughly about the same time. So, keep an eye out. I should have a couple of videos coming out this week. So I'll see you guys next week, and I'll see you on the videos, or you'll see me on the videos. So guys, have a nice day. Enjoy your weekend. Hopefully you can go out and enjoy some nice weather. And I'll see you on the next one, guys. Get out in your shop and, you know, make something. Even if you just doodle around or, you know, make up drawings of something that you want to do, you know. If you can dream it, you can build it. Just remember that. So make your dreams a reality, guys. So have a nice one, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a nice day, guys.